Hi, it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my first update for Clue Special Panning Edition Round 4. I created this Pantastic Ladies project based on the board game Clue. You have 6 suspects, 6 weapons, and 9 rooms to choose from. You pick 3 from each category. Once you've selected the prompt and the item that you're going to use for it, you use a pair of dice to roll your number of uses. Once you've met that goal, you can then guess that thing. If you don't meet your goal by the update, that's okay. You just keep going until you reach whatever your goal is. And if you meet goal on, say, a suspect and a weapon, but you don't have a room, your goal stays met for that suspect and weapon, and just whenever you get a room, you can guess them. Once you have made your guess, I will eliminate one of those 3 parts for you, just like the board game, so you might learn that it wasn't that particular weapon, for instance, and then you will move on, and by process of elimination, you will figure out who killed Mr. Body with what and where. I didn't get quite as much progress as I would have liked, and I'm also filming this a bit early because there was a death in my family, but I did have one guess, so we're going to go through the progress I do have and what I have now learned. The first suspect that I've been working on is Professor Plum. He's represented by something purple. I picked a lip crayon that I have duct taped shut so it stays closed. Here it is. It is purple. I don't know what brand it was from. My goal was to use this 10 times, and so far I've used it twice. So I still have 8 uses to go. I'm really not that close, but I'll at least get some more progress for next time, even though I can't guess Professor Plum yet. Next is Colonel Mustard. He is something yellow. I picked my Lime Crime Electric Slide eyeshadow and brush stick in the shade Mega. The dice were nice to me and told me that I only had to use this 3 times, and I did that. I am wearing it today, and this is the 3rd use. So this is a goal met. I do like combining this with the reds that I have in my ColourPop Cherish palette. It also looks nice with oranges, so that's usually how I use it. I combine it with those 2 things. I don't usually wear it by itself, but this is now a goal met, and I was able to guess Colonel Mustard. My 3rd suspect that I'm investigating right now is Mrs. Peacock. She's represented by something blue, and of course I had to pick my Ardensian Monster Manuka Honey Enriched Pigment in the shade Peacock. It is kind of a darker shade and is also kind of greenish, but it's called Peacock, so I'm going with it. My goal is to use this 6 times. So far I've used it twice. So I still have 4 uses to go. I do think I have made that goal for the next update, but for right now it's still here and I can't guess her quite yet. Next is the weapons. The first weapon that I picked is the candlestick. That is something with silver or gold packaging. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in the shade Montmartre. It does come in a gold tube. The dice told me to use this 7 times, and I've only used it twice, which kind of surprised me. It had been a while since I'd used it, so I kind of wanted to, and I thought I'd get more uses than 2. I guess maybe because I think of this as a winter shade, but it's still in here. I still have 5 uses to go, and I think I can do that in a month, but that's what I thought about 7 last time. Next is the lead pipe, and that is something discontinued. This whole brand was discontinued. It's the Coastal Scents Blush and Bronzer Sample Duo. It's actually a blush and a highlighter in here. The dice told me I'd use this 9 times, and so far I've only used it once. And that one time I used both shades, and I think this has a lot to do with the fact that I have other highlighters and other projects. So I think I'm focusing on the other highlighters and then ignoring the duo as a whole. But I still have 8 uses to go. I'm sure I'll get more than 1 use in the next month, but for now, still here and not much progress to speak of. My second weapon is the rope, and that is a product that ties a look together. That prompt came from Aria, and I think a black liner really does tie a look together. So I picked this Marcel waterproof eyeliner in the shade Midnight Black. The dice only said I had to use this 5 times. I am wearing it now for I think the 8th or 9th time. So goal exceeded on this one. It's not hard, it's a black eyeliner. It is drier than it used to be, but it is still working. It is moving very slowly. I haven't had to sharpen it, but I'm getting close to needing to sharpen it. But it's a goal met, and I was able to guess the rope. Next, we're into the rooms, and my first room is the ballroom. That is something musical. This is the Natasha Denona shadow from the I Need a New palette called Muse. Muses inspire music is how I got there. The dice told me to use this 7 times, and I've only used it once, so not very impressive. It is pretty. It's also drying out, but that's okay with me because I actually think it's easier to use that way. Maybe it was just too moist, was why I kind of thought it was too finicky for me before. But the time that I used it, it did look really pretty, and I didn't have as much trouble with it as I have in the past trying to get it to actually apply. So 6 uses to go, and I'm not going to be quite as reluctant to use this now that I'm liking the process of applying it better. My next room is the lounge, and that is something that is comfortable to wear. I picked the Bobbi Brown Extra Lip Tint in the shade Bare Raspberry. It's a tinted lip balm, so it is very comfortable. I got this in an advent calendar. It is way too expensive for a tinted lip balm in my opinion, so I would not buy this because of the price. I only have it because I got it in an advent calendar. That's what it looks like now. The dice told me to use it 7 times, and I've exceeded that. I think I got 9. So this is a goal met, and it lives in my purse. It's kind of what I apply at work after lunch most of the time. There it is, rolled all the way down. But still in my collection, but it is a goal met, and I was able to guess the lounge. My last room is the conservatory, and the conservatory is something that makes you look younger, allegedly. One of the tips they tell you is that if you want to look younger, you should use cream cheek products instead of powder. So I picked a cream highlighter. This isn't an eyeshadow container, but it is actually the Milk Makeup Cream Highlighter in the shade Lit. The dice told me to use this 4 times. I'm wearing it right now for the 2nd time, so I still have 2 uses to go. So I will certainly have that goal met for next time. I thought it would definitely be a goal hit for today, but it's not. But 2 uses, and then I'm sure I will be able to guess the conservatory next month. I did manage to meet goal on Colonel Mustard, so I have 1 suspect. I met goal on the rope, so I have 1 weapon. And I met goal on the lounge, so I have 1 room. So 1 suspect, 1 weapon, and 1 room. I was able to make 1 guess. This year it is actually my youngest brother holding my secret from me. He is very serious about board games, so he is well qualified. He does not, however, know that this is related to a panning game or that there are people on the internet watching this. But he knows that I have to do things in order to make guesses, and then he will eliminate things like the game of Clue. So I asked my brother if it could have been Colonel Mustard with the rope in the lounge, and he told me that it could not have been with the rope. So I have eliminated my first weapon. With 1 thing crossed off my list, I needed to figure out what I'm going to bring in for the next month. I am still working on Professor Plum and Mrs. Peacock, so I can bring in 1 suspect. And I picked Mrs. White. Mrs. White is represented by something white. This is the Au Naturel Creme Shadow in the shade White Quartz. I rolled my dice and they only gave me a 2, so that should be really easy. 2 uses for Mrs. White, and then I'll be able to guess her. Next is the weapons. I am still working on the candlestick and the lead pipe, so I could only bring in 1, and I picked the revolver. The revolver is something that you consume quickly, which in my case isn't much. I don't really consume makeup all that quickly, I don't think, but I do have to shampoo my hair every other day, and I know a lot of people will go a lot longer than that without shampooing. I will look greasy if I try. This is the Wella Professionals Ultimate Repair Shampoo. It's just a trial size, but since I go through shampoo pretty quickly, I figured I could use this. I rolled my dice and they gave me an 8, so 8 uses on this shampoo before I can guess the revolver. That just leaves the rooms. I am still working on the ballroom and the conservatory, so I could only bring in 1 new room, and I picked the billiard room. For the billiard room, you pick an item and then you ask a magic 8-ball if you should pan it. You can use an app, which is what I did, since I don't have a physical magic 8-ball. But I pulled out my NARS cream bronzer in the shade Laguna 2 and asked if I should pan this. And the magic 8-ball told me outlook not good. So magic 8-ball didn't like it. This is not what I'm bringing into the project. Oh well, I picked something else and asked again. Since the magic 8-ball did not like the NARS cream bronzer, I decided to ask it about my True and Luscious Angel Eyes eyeshadow primer and base in the shade Dark Nude. This is darker than my skin, so it's a little bit trickier for me to wear. The magic 8-ball, however, said it is certain, so it doesn't get more clear than that. This is what the magic 8-ball wants me to pan. I rolled my dice and it gave me an 11. 11 uses on this. That'll take me more than a month since this is darker for me, but I will see how long it takes me to do it. So there's my update for next time. I'm expecting me goal on 2 suspects. Mrs. White's just a goal of 2, and that should be easy. And I just have 4 more for Mrs. Peacock, and I think I can do that. Weapons are going to be a little bit trickier. I do think that my best shot is going to be the candlestick, so we're going to see if I can manage that, and then it'll be really easy for me to meet goal on the cream highlighter that I have in for the conservatory. So I should get 1 more guess next time. Wish me luck, good luck with your projects, and I will see you next month. Bye!